Good afternoon, folks. I want to talk about these vaccines and this Delta deal. Okay, if we observe the majority of Americans, especially in America, we are not nearly as healthy as we were years ago as a whole people. We are heavier as a people. We have more issues as a people. We have more depression as a people, more health issues as a people than, let's say, 50 years ago. We have lost that touch with reality. What I see is a lot of unhealthy posture and unhealthy bodies. Me included. I'm not saying I'm not. Me included. Okay? But I try to the best of my ability. I try to regain my posture. But I see more disability as a whole. And I see more disease as a whole. And what I see is people just on their phone like this. You know, just hoping for something to save them. Hoping for something to entertain them, to save the day, to give them hope. And they're like this, hunched over. Because we are not understanding that we are extensions of God here on earth. We are not understanding that we are God's physical body and He is spirit. Until we understand that, we are going to refuse to see the light, the truth, and the way. Okay? I know some people do see the light, the truth, and the way, and some people think they do, but they don't. I was very unhealthy at one point after having joined the military, not before. I had gotten a cocktail of vaccines that I don't know what what was in them. You don't know. As a little airman coming in, they can use you as a guinea pig without your knowledge or your permission. Because if you don't have knowledge, they don't have to have your permission. Okay? And I'm not going to make excuses for having been sick. But I will tell you that pictures before me being sick and pictures while I was sick, I don't have hardly any pictures of me when I was sick because I wasn't taking any. I was so sick. Everything hurt. Everything. My joints hurt. My head hurt. My stomach hurt. Everything hurt. There was inflammation everywhere. And I walked into a health food store in my neighborhood in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and I have always liked the health food store. I couldn't afford much at the time, but that's the way it always is. I can only afford what I can afford. But I like the health food store. I like places like Whole Foods. I like the fact that Walmart and Winn-Dixie and Publix and Aldi's has healthy food now available for us, that we, the poor, don't have to go to the health food store and spend all of our money that we don't have. Because the health food store is a good thing. It's a blessing. You know, they're going to have the bulk of it. And this is not to put the health food store out of business, on the contrary. But the health food store does not accept food stamps, for example, which is something that the poor person who's on food stamps can go to a Walmart, can go to a Publix, can go to an Aldi's, can go to any of these Winn-Dixie, any of these places where now they have healthy food available to them. They have organic milk, organic eggs. We are what we eat, folks. They have foods without artificial colors and flavors. We have so much, you know, organic and, you know, free of pesticides and free of hormones and free of artificial colors and flavors and free of, you know, whatever else. Gluten-free, you know, because we have a lot of gluten allergies now, because it's like a response to the inflammation, these allergies. So I want to talk about these things. Yesterday, I was looking at my feet and I was like, my feet are quite ugly, to be honest. But I'm the one that has to look at them, you know? And I like looking at feet, including mine, because it shows you where a person has been, where they are at, you know, where they're going. You know, it's fascinating to me. My mother told me that my biological father had a foot fetish, but he only liked pretty feet. Oh, he would be very disappointed with me. He would probably, if he could afford, pay for somebody to, you know, to get my feet done. But I don't like anybody touching my feet. So I like to do my own feet. And I'm very military about it. Like, very military, okay? The way I clip my nails, but it's like, it's got to be done, you know? So I was looking at my feet, and the older I get, the uglier they get. So I'm just like, okay, I know. See, I like to see the older ladies that have those pretty feet, that because they go to the salon on a regular basis, and you can see, you know, when they get to be older, their feet look really pretty, and they're always painted in a pretty color, most of the time red or a bright pink, and it's so pretty, you know. And when I got my pedicure professionally as an adult, after having served in the military, my ex-husband paid for a spa day, and the lady doing my manicure and my pedicure taught me a few tricks. And she said to me, you know, if you were to get your feet done on a regular basis, when you get to be older, you won't have the issues that, you know, that older women have with their feet. And I remembered that she said that. So I tried, you know, for a while to give myself my own foot soak and massage my own feet. And I was doing a little bit of yoga, and I was going to the gym, and I was getting healthy. But then I had people confusing that with some kind of a pretentious whore, you know, that, and I mean it. I mean it. Okay? I mean it. When I was doing my Pilates and my yoga and my Taibo all simultaneously, and going to the gym, and, you know, trying to so hard to do my salsa and my samba, you know, even though salsa is my culture, but samba is not. But, you know, you've got to try, you know, and I was like, well, you know, I like it, you know, I can do that. So when my friend James was telling me to twerk, I said my body doesn't move that way, because I already know. I've tried when it comes to not salsa, but samba. Let me show you something. I'm not being prejudiced at all when I say this, okay? But Can you imagine like a 90-year-old lady or a 70-year-old lady or a 50-year-old lady like me, almost 50. I'm 47. But if I had never done salsa or samba or anything like that, I'm going to the gym and all these young girls are doing their like that, But then you have somebody like me, I'm 27, I'm not 17, and I'm not 47, I'm 27. And I'm like, hey, green is what she says all day and night, y'all. Green is for rebirth and rebuild. And it's like, excuse me, do you think you're some teenager or something? Do you think you're delusional? No, bye. Like Bonquiqui says, bye. This is exactly how I got treated. Okay? And they made it a living hell for me. Because we were in the deep south with narrow-mindedness coming from both men and women. Okay? And they couldn't understand why somebody could just get up off their deathbed all by themselves because God is the helping hand. Okay? When I got down on my knees and prayed, God lifted me up. Within a week, I was jogging and detoxing all of those medications and all of that crap that was in me. Okay? And did I say crap? I'm sorry. But anyway, when you start dancing, and moving your body, and I am Latin American, okay? My mother is Latin American, my father's Latin American, but there's all kinds of races in us, okay? We're not just like just one thing. We're not, okay? There's all kinds of Latinos that are mixed with different races, okay? And there's all kinds of everybody's. We're all mixed with different races, okay? So, make a long story short, I have this body shape. I have big breasts, okay? I'm 5'1". If I get really heavy, my breasts are the first ones to gain the weight. And right here, the apple shape in my thighs, okay? So, when you start to lose the weight, okay, and you start to lose this, and you start to lose this, and you start to lose this, and when you're dancing the same moves, okay, you look sexier and prettier, and there are people watching you, and they think that, that you want to sleep around, not dance around. No, because there are people buying and selling people. There are people buying and selling other people's capital, intellectual capital, as we speak, okay? This is why I share my notes directly from my wall, okay? So, you can kiss my fundamental. I have the pants to prove it. It's called bull brutality. And I'm telling you that we are extensions of God here on earth, and you don't want to believe me. You want somebody to come and rescue you when the one who rescues you lives inside of you already, okay? You just have to believe. We need to stop vaccinating and being brainwashed with that, this COVID and COVID. Okay, people are getting more and more unhealthy, okay? And these people who study people can see that clearly if these people start to wake up and exercise and eat healthy, which we have, and put girdles. I've seen a lot of the young girls now doing the little girdle thing and having some gorgeous, shapes, because just because you're a little bit more voluptuous does not mean that you're unhealthy. You can have big breasts and big curves because some people are shaped like that. A lot of Latino women are shaped like that. A lot of Black Afro-Americans are shaped like that. And a lot of people from other ethnicities are shaped like that. Not everybody has a ruler's figure. So anyway, when these girls get off the girdle and everything, it just kind of tucks everything up and in, and it's good. Now, some women can twerk, okay? Because they're young and sexy and they want to be like, ooh, look at me, to their husband, right? like they're twerking. Okay, but I'm not going to be doing the twerking at a Mexican restaurant in downtown Montgomery, Alabama, for everybody in the United Nations to be watching me twerking or whatever. Okay, because I'm 47, not 27, and not 17. That does not mean that I'm not a good spokesperson, because I am. I'm a peaceful person. My son's pickup was strategically orchestrated. And when this whole team is against the one parent on the table and you're not allowed to speak, they wear you out. They wear you out. They wear you out. They want to see, okay? They want to see how much patience you have, what your threshold is. And all of this is being monitored and recorded for the whole world to see. Now look at this lady is delusional. She's not patient. She's not cooperative. She's not dignified or whatever, okay? But I will tell you again, okay? Competition is good when it's healthy competition. For example, you can say, hi, yes, is this customer service for Winn-Dixie? Yes, I just wanted to let you know that, I've been going to the health food store to buy my organic milk, and I was wondering if you would consider having organic milk, because I've seen that you have soy milk and rice dream milk on the shelves already, and these are the same products that they sell at the health food store for people who are like lactose intolerant and vegetarian and vegan, and I was wondering if you would consider having organic milk with no hormones and pesticides in your store. Then you go, Walmart, customer service. Yes, I was wondering, I just want to let you know that Winn-Dixie's already, doing what the health food store is doing, which is carrying organic milk and organic eggs. Would you please consider? Oh, and by the way, Winn-Dixie's recycling their bags. Would you please consider recycling your bags too? Because, or vice versa. Okay? This is healthy competition. Okay? Because we must keep the wheels moving. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. Because if we don't keep the wheels moving, it's death. It's the stagnation. Okay? So, why am I not twerking in the middle of downtown Montgomery? Because my friend James, how is that going to benefit me from twerking? Is that going to prove to anybody that I like Black Afro-Americans? Not all Black Afro-Americans twerk, for one. Certainly not people who are over 45. I mean, unless you've been doing that for a long time. Because there are some workouts that are like twerking workouts. And my body, my brain, there's a kink. Like, that's not my strength. My strength is like typo. Like, that's right. That's the way I move. Okay? And when it comes to a little bit of yoga, just a little bit, just a little bit. I wasn't born doing yoga, and I may be doing it wrong, but whatever. Okay? I try. I'm telling you that we're extensions of God here on earth. And don't let people brainwash you into thinking that you need these vaccines. Because I'm seeing more and more unhealthiness across the board. Okay, people addicted to medication. People who are not shaped like to be healthy. It doesn't matter what body type you have. As long as you are motivated to do something. Okay? And these people know it. That's why I'm not going to be working at a restaurant where they're telling me that I worked after I filed for unemployment. Because that is like some kind of in cahoots with the state. And I'm not doing that. Okay? I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be blamed for something I didn't do. I'm not doing it. And I don't care if anybody says, oh, she's immature. She hasn't developed. Well, I don't care. I know that I have arrested development or whatever. You know? I'm just here to tell you the truth. That we have been lifted up to the right into his womb of his heart. To be born of God. And we are God's extension here on earth. I look at my own feet, and yesterday I was like, well, I can paint them, and I can make them look pretty, or I can, you know, clean them up. So I cleaned them up, and I cut myself by accident. I've got boo-boos on my feet, because I don't want to be doing a pedicure on somebody else. I do a pedicure on myself, my own body, and I'm not mutilating myself. No. So I've got Band-Aids on my toes because I don't know how to do it right. But I practice on myself. Practice on myself. You practice medicine on yourself first. And when you truly believe in it, then you share it. Mother suckers. We're not going to be disabling the vast majority of the body of Christ because we need people healthy. I told you one night I could not go to sleep. I was like, I will not go to sleep until I take care of that roach. You hear me, roach? And that roach would come out. It was huge. It was like this big. It was horrific. It was horrific. But I was like, no, you and I, no, I'm going to win it. Okay? Because I don't want roaches that's been out there in the trash. You know, if you're so intelligent, then you wouldn't be here. Because Susana Vallarino does not like roaches. Okay? So you can go out there in the dumpster and go eat and get fat and be happy with the food out there in the dumpster. But don't come in my house because I'm not going to leave you food for you, scattered for you to come and get it. So, this is why I don't like to waste food. I like the food in the refrigerator to be clean and everything organized, and we don't waste food because there are a lot of people who are hungry out in the street. This is why I like to have my own house. I bought my own house with my own VA benefits because I like to be the queen of my house. Okay? So, I like to be Mama Susan, Dr. Mom. Okay. So, I have my own ways that I am unique the way my papa made me. So, we have the same Yeshua inside of us. But when you mix the two together, becomes one very unique individual. Okay? And we don't fear other people. So, it's got to get done. I said to that roach, I said, we're not doing this. And that roach did not want to leave the house. Okay? That roach wanted to linger, and then it looked at me, and it proceeded to go through all of my dishes. Oh, no. That gave me about a heart attack. I said, we're not doing this. And I swear it took me like 2 hours at least to catch that roach. It would go in and out, and it would come out, and it would look at me defiant, that roach. And it would go into where all the utensils are, with the fork. It's like, oh, no. So I got the vacuum cleaner, okay, and I sucked it right in, but it took me a long time and effort. And I saw it in there circulating, and they're walking. I could hear it because you can hear the roaches. When there's a roach, you hear because I have that kind of hearing. I can hear it, and I'm just like, you know, I hear it, and I go and I get it because I'm not gonna have roaches in the house. That's not hygienic. It's not hygienic. It's not hygienic to have flies flying and touching your everything, your cup and your toothbrush and God knows what else, your baby's bottle. Yucky. We just need to keep the house so the flies don't come in. I'm good at that. So anyway, I had to throw the vacuum cleaner away, you know? So, whatever, okay? I'm not a crazy person. I'm not out there killing people. I'm not out there experimenting. One time I went to get my pedicure done for the 4th of July when I was, the night that my ex-husband proposed to me. Okay, I was all feeling so happy. I was in the Air Force. I could afford anything I wanted within my budget. And I was wanting to get my feet done, get all prettied up because we were going out to dinner. I was only 21 or 22. And this young lady was on the phone the whole time, speaking in her language, being very rude to me. You know, she didn't even, I told her, please don't file. Like, don't file because I don't have calluses and I don't want to get calluses. Oh, she did whatever the heck she wanted. And she was talking in her language and she did not even acknowledge me, what I was saying. And was very rude. And when we were done, my feet were burning. Because she had taken out too much of the top layer. And that actually causes calluses. And I was like, ouch, my feet hurt. So I went back and spoke to the manager and I got my money back. She was very rude. So for a long time I didn't get a pedicure. Then I went back to get a pedicure years later and I was having a good experience until I had a fungal infection on my toenail. And that toenail has healed, but every now and then I have to cut it back completely because it has like a different kind of a texture, the nail bed. It wasn't like completely healed, the nail bed. So if you don't cut it back really short, you can have that pocket there that can grow whatever. So you have to cut it really short. Every now and then I have to do that. Okay, that's why I don't like to paint my toenails very much. If I paint them for just something special, but I like to keep them short and plain. That way I can see right through them. And if you take a light and you shine on them, you can see if there's a spot in there. And that's very important, okay, because that can go into your bloodstream. So anyway, I had a toenail that was infected, and the pedicurist said, yeah, I think that's a toenail. Like when I went back to see him, I said, please be careful that we don't cross-contaminate anything. So I had even bought my own, I would bring my own implements, but you're still sharing that tub. And even though they disinfected, you know, so a lot of things that, you know, I mean, they were sterilized in their equipment and everything, you know, but still, you just have to be careful, you know. So if you have an infection, just don't go to get your feet done, you know. Just wait till you heal completely. And so anyway, I went to Keesler Air Force Base to see if that was a fungal infection, to see if they could treat it. And the doctor was a resident. And he's like, no, I don't think that's a fungal infection. I think that's a bruise. So I was like, okay, forget this, brothers and sisters. I'm going to go down in there and I cut into it. I cut into it. And it was a fungal infection. And what I did is I took alcohol and I took tea tree and hydrogen peroxide and I did debridement for a few weeks, and it was gone. But I took that toenail, I wanted to show it to the doctor, like, look, this is a fungal infection, okay? People not need to be going to get the pedicure when they have an infection. So this is why we need to be conscientious. But this coronavirus vaccine, you don't know what is in them, and then they're having all kinds of issues with the formulation. This is a correlation that I've noticed. You get the test, and then you get you get diagnosed. You see that? Because it's like, what is in those swabs? We read together from the news, from a reputable news source, where these swabs were contaminated. And we've read together where they're telling us that these these vaccines that they needed to reformulate them because they were recalling them because of, and then this other vaccine had an issue, and then this other okay, people, wake up! It doesn't matter what the president says today, because the president that's today is not going to be the president tomorrow. Okay? They're at war with one another. What they're reporting is what they think it's true today, but it's not true tomorrow. And then it's too late for you. Because you have something in you that you don't know what the F is in it. Do I have to speak like this to you? Yes, because I was told when I worked in downtown at the Mexican restaurant that I only worked there for a few weeks or few days before this corona shenanigans. I was told, well, you sound like Minnie Mouse. You need to speak up. You know, because I am not a world leader. I'm not a religious leader. I am not a politician. I am a raw and always kind of like offbeat. I'm offbeat. Okay? So, I am a witness and a messenger. I am not a racist. It's like these people in DHR, it's like they're pushing it and they're pushing it and they're pushing me because they want me to sound like a racist. They want me to say something bad about the black Afro-Americans because of what they're doing to my son. And I'm not. And the Hispanic community the same. Because of how I've been treated among some Hispanic. Okay? Like the nerdy girl. Because I'm not like them. It's like, how do you expect me to be? I'm from Panama. I came here as a teenager. How do you expect me to be like you? Why can you understand that I'm unique just like you are unique? You know? I'm not going to take sides. When I was a child, I was invited to a gathering of these three sisters in Panama City. In this little region that's neither the country nor the city. It's called Colón. And it's a very unique culture. And these three little girls, beautiful little sisters, beautiful. And I got along with all of them. Okay? And the youngest one was the bossy one. She was very catty and very bossy. She once talked me into giving her my gold ring that my mom had given me. And I liked my ring, okay? It fit me perfectly. I'm not saying that if I've ever given out rings that's not what I meant to do. That's not true. This particular ring she wanted. And I was like, well, I can't because my mom will spank me. I'll get in trouble. And she said, oh, well, you're not going to be my friend anymore. And she was that kind of a little girl. She was slightly younger than I, but very manipulative. Those are the kind of people that the world likes, the leaders. Okay? They're very manipulative. And then these people say that I'm manipulative because they want to ruin my reputation. How is manipulative asking somebody to please carry organic milk because the health food store is doing it, and that that it can be done because they already have rice milk? That I'm paying attention to what they're doing? How is it manipulative to say, oh, would you please consider recycling because this other store, your competition, because that's healthy competition. Yes. Healthy competition, okay? Who's going to clean up the air fastest, okay, over there in China? Who's going to clean up the water fastest over there in India? Who's going to clean up this DHR corruption the fastest here in America? Hooray! We're done! Oh, no, we're not. There's other stuff that needs to be cleaned up. Let's go! That's who we are. So, I don't care if you think I'm manipulative, and I don't care if you think I'm right down cookie, or that I am offbeat, or awkward, or quirky, or nerdy, but I was not going to be doing the twerking in downtown. You know, it's like, I was already, here I am being as motivated as I can be, working under the circumstances, and then I'm having, I'm being told that I sound like Minnie Mouse, but, it's like, why don't you try twerking? And I was like, I can't. My body doesn't move that way, but that was not the place to practice. Maybe at the gym, okay? Maybe at the gym if I had Madonna Grimes going, we're in the privacy of my house, Madonna Grimes going, woo, come on, girl, come on, and doing all of that. Okay, in the privacy of my house, I will try it, or at the gym. Even at the gym, I was embarrassed because I had all kinds of people in front of me and next to me and behind me, and we were doing some, compromising things, for the workout's sake. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. But whatever, some people need to get up and need to challenge themselves to doing something that they're not used to doing. But the restaurant was not the place to do it. No. Okay? There's a time and there's a place. James A. Okay? So, I ain't no thief. Okay? Because my friend James said, look, Susan, here's some money for the gardener. Because he's going to come and do gardening job. And then he's telling me, I'm going to change the locks. And, whenever, every now and then he says, I'm going to change the locks. And you need to get out of here. And I'm just like, excuse me, but when I had monies coming in from the state instead of the whole year, I got it for 6 months. Nobody was telling me to leave the house because I was buying groceries with my own money. I cook gourmet meals when I can. I know it's the same thing over and over. Like pasta frittata, pasta frittata, pasta frittata, because that's the only thing that everybody will agree on. Because I can do other things like veggie burgers. I can even do veggie burgers from scratch if I wanted to. Which I have. I bake cookies. Sometimes they're better than others. I don't know what else to do with myself. When I was making like arroz con pollo and yuca and plátanos, it's like, I don't know. Is that what people want from me? I'll make it because I know how to make it. That's why I wanted to have a multi-ethnic, healthy restaurant. Okay? With the smoke outside the CIA. But isn't it amazing how multiplication and division can mean the same thing at one point? At one point, CIA can mean two things simultaneously. It can mean out and in. It can mean clean indoor air with the smoke outside. Woo! Simultaneously! Yes, indeed, it can be done. Healthy competition among you, not like, oh, we're going to go over there and spy on China, and China's going to come and spy on us, and then everybody's killing each other's agents, and then we're going to have to recruit more agents to be killed. It's like, duh. That's not smart. I want to know what the intelligence is for. I want to know what the gathered intelligence is for, and if not to say, look, it's been reported a long time ago that over there they have polluted air. But also they have a lot of buildings that need love. They need love. They need attention. They need circulation. Okay? So these buildings need people living in them and breathing in them and maintaining them and running air and water through them. But now they're going to have to be like reinforced because nobody's lived in them for a long time. And it's very dangerous to have such high buildings that need tender love and care. So, that's a lot of money. But China's got a lot of money. They go all in Central America and bail people out. They go all everywhere. They go to Australia, New Zealand, and give them jobs. China's got money. China's like all about having no poor out in the street. That's their agenda. And believe me, it's like when somebody's got that agenda, you can't change it. Okay? When I see a roach, I'm like, I am not going to sleep. I'm not going to ignore the fact that the roach is there. The roach, I don't like to kill the roach. I really don't. Okay? I like to take the roach and take it outside. I don't care if it comes back in some other day. I don't care. I don't like to squish the roach and like this stuff that comes out of the roach. No, that's yucky. I don't like to squish the fly. No. Ugh. No. But the flies, they don't pay attention. They're not like obedient. Like, please go out. Okay? Roaches, you can scoop them up in a pan and put them outside, and they stay out there for a while. Okay? But I don't like to kill roaches. But I can't ignore it. Walking, going, you can hear it. I can hear it. Going through all the packages and walking. I can hear the roaches walking. And then when I think it is, it is. It is. Every time. Okay? So when you have somebody who's like, I'm going to get all my people out of poverty and that's my goal, you're not going to change that man's mind. Okay? So I would stop bullying people and saying they're the enemy and whatever, because they've got guns just as powerful as everybody else. Okay? The best thing here is to disarm together. But nobody's going to disarm first. No. Because everybody's like, oh, it's like a game of cards, right? Y'all are playing a game of cards. It's like this. All this bluffing and bluffing. And it's like, oh, I've got, you know, oh yeah. And everybody's doing the same thing. Okay? But if you ask somebody to show you their cards, they're not going to do it. Because then everybody else is going to see what they have. So, why are you looking at my cards all the time? You're cheating! And I still have to work through you cheating. Yeah, I still have to have some kind of self-esteem, you know, knowing that if I twerk in the middle of downtown Montgomery, which is not why I came to Montgomery, by the way, if I'm twerking, how is that going to benefit me? Is it going to benefit me? But then if I were to say to somebody, try samba, try salsa, would they feel offended? So I don't think those girls meant any harm by it. I don't think that they were in any way, shape, or form being mean. No. The supervisor is about my age, but the young ladies were very young girls in college. And it's okay for the girls in college to do that. Okay? Because it's like me, no different than being in my 20s and dancing salsa or trying to dance salsa and samba to get back into shape. So, I'm always guilty whether I am or not. It's like, she is guilty. She is a thief. She's a scoundrel or whatever. That's the way it is. No matter how it's presented to you. Because you're expecting Jesus Christ to be a Caucasian male. You don't understand that we are the body of Christ. That God is spirit in our midst. So China's got a lot of money, but we should have a conversation with China and say, China, we like your Confucius and we like your Qi, because your Qi is the same spirit of God, and we like your desire to get people out of poverty. They're doing the same thing among the churches here in America. Yeah. And what is happening is they're having brother stealing from brother. Okay? Cheating brother instead, which is not good. So I don't want to hear about China's corruption. There's corruption here in America, plenty, among the churches. Okay? With their Christianity disguise. So, remember that Jesus wasn't a Christian. He was a Jew. Salvation is from the Jews. Who said that? Jesus Christ himself. Christ himself said that. So this is good news for all. So we need to talk to China and say, China, we respect your enthusiasm to get people out of poverty. You know, this is a noble cause. We all have weapons. We have all spent our people's money. We have all spent our people's money into developing weapons for self-protection. But it has been brought up to our attention that we need to disarm together. But there's always going to be somebody who's not going to want to do it. Or do it first. Because they're like, haha, you go ahead then. And then you do it. And then it's like, sucker, I'm not. You know? Isn't that how kids play? Isn't that how kids play in the playground? Yeah. So, we've got to figure it out. So, it's like, we understand that, that you have polluted air. And it's like, let us invest money into cleaning your air, and let us invest money into cleaning our poverty here in America. Not through communism, but we can take some aspects of what you're doing, you know, that we feel comfortable with according to our culture, and see how you're doing it. But certainly we don't believe in oppression. We don't believe in exploitation. But we are exploiting people. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're exploiting people and oppressing people here in America. In other ways, very subtle. Or maybe not so subtle. Because people are complaining. Okay? But it's different than in China. And China is more in your face. Okay? But it's like there's got to be balance. There's got to be a balance. So, you know, we're not going to be invading your country and invading your space and your ways, you know. But, you know, it is a violation of rights, of human rights, you know, to be exposing people to polluted air. And you've got the money to do it. You've got the money to do it. And I want to tell you, China, that you can gain more customers besides, you know, the people from Australia and New Zealand. You can expand your market, okay, if you consider, you know, because see, the people of the earth, the nations of the earth are not in agreement with your violation of human rights. Well, we consider violation of human rights, like keeping people, you know, in their cooped up in their homes, you know, monitoring everything, because we do it here in America too. We're just being a hypocrite about it, you know. But the nations don't agree with these violation of rights. So, you know, it's like they're pointing out that you're violating your people's rights. But here, as I'm speaking to you, I realize that we're doing it to our own people too. Oh my gosh. We're violating our people's rights with home invasions, forced vaccination, or, in certain fields, Anyway, when you talk about these things, the United Nations, it's like there's air to be cleaned for the people of China, and there's water to be cleaned for the people of India, and there's money, because China has money. China has a lot of money. And what's happening is there's a relationship between the Chinese and Australians and New Zealand because they help each other's economies, right? And they're like helping each other, okay? Because New Zealand and China and New Zealand and Australia need China's money for their services and their goods, okay? And China's got the money to do it. And so it's like a win-win for them, because other nations might not want to do business with China, and New Zealand and Australia are like, well, we don't care, but we need China, because they need to keep their wheels going. And now all these buildings have been erected, but no one's living in them. Because for one, the polluted air, for two, the violation of human rights. So it's like, when there's a will, there's a way, okay? The Chi, the spirit of truth in your midst, Asia. We can do it. The money's there. The problem is there. So we apply the money to take care of the problem, which is we can clean the air. Who is good at cleaning the air? The CIA, but not the CIA that is going to go and spy on to have each other's agents killing one another. No, because the CIA is clean indoor air. We just need to change. So when I see a roach, I don't want to kill the roach. No, I just want to take it outside. And if the roach does not want to be caught, I'm going to have no choice, okay, but to take the vacuum cleaner. That's what happens. Because the roach cannot be walking around all the dishes and all the utensils. You understand, people, okay? So when I went in the military, I was a typical 19, 20-year-old girl, typical girl. Happy-go-lucky, and I was. And, I began to have some health issues, okay? And I'm not saying it was anything in particular. It could have been a combination of things. But we got a lot of vaccines at once. And not everybody can handle all of the same vaccines. Because just like I'm Latino with this body type, and my genes are different than somebody else, what I can handle may not be what they can handle, and vice versa. Just like I can dance salsa, okay, if I want to, if I try, I can dance salsa, because it's my culture. I grew up watching it. I grew up watching salsa, people dancing and merengue, right? And then I can try samba because I also grew up watching it from the carnival in Brazil on the television, right? But if somebody said, try twerking, and I've never done it before, it's going to be difficult. But I can try, and it's like, woo! It is actually really good for the butt. That's why, certain women have really nice, pretty butts. They have, because it shakes everything into shape. It's like, woo! Woo! Yes! Can you imagine 90-year-old grandma? Have you seen those videos of the 90-year-old grandma doing all kinds of dancing? Yes, yoga and elderly people dancing, and they're happy and they're young and they're very flexible and healthy because they've been dancing. So can you imagine like a 50-year-old woman doing this thing right here? But you know, it has to be the right place at the right time. Otherwise, people may misinterpret this for being a biblical whore. So they don't understand that this is an exercise for the butt. Woo! And is it good? They have a machine that does that. A machine that you get on it and it just like shakes everything. Yeah. You just like when you put your feet in the massage, when you go get your pedicure done, the machine goes brrrr, like that. Yeah. I'm being totally honest with you. So, praise the Lord, hallelujah. I know it's all together. It's like a soup. It's like, oh my Lord, this lady's gone bananas. And it's like, well, what do you expect? Okay? Everything together at the same time simultaneously. Okay? So, you have to start like filtering through, and then you have to categorize it. You have to then, you know, alphabetize it, and you know, all that stuff. It takes time. It takes time and effort for one person. And then everybody looking at you and your cards. So it's like, you cannot win, Susan. You cannot win. That's not what was written in our story. Our story says you're a loser, that you cannot win. And it's like, well, I'm sorry. That's not what my papa has ever said to me. No, he said, finally, you are here. Oh, yes, indeed. Up to the right and to the womb of his heart to receive more for our less, to come back and deliver. Deliver means distribute, okay? So I'm distributing. I don't want to hear, oh, that doesn't come from her. It's like, oh, really? It does too? It comes from me. The good. The goodness. The good intentions. Is it wrong? Yes. You can polish my message. But it comes from me. I am a messenger and a witness first. And again. So I don't want to hear that I am not who I say I am. I am. Just the way my papa made me. With ugly feet. I hope you have a blessed day. And I'm going to sing. And I want you to join me. We need to be singing together one day. I try my best voice. Gloria, gloria, alleluia. Gloria, gloria, alleluia. Gloria, gloria, alleluia. En el nombre del Señor. Woo! I want you to sing with me, whether it's AM or PM, and let us talk about how we're going to be disarming together, and we're going to be using our monies to clean our air and our waters and our corruption among us and the hypocrisy here in America too. Yes, because we're not going to be forcing people to get vaccines. They don't know what the F is in them. Excuse me.